only took him 10 minutes to hit the record button.
It's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the official Hammer Time podcast. As always, I'm your host. Alongside me is my usual duo, Jake himself. We are back after a 2 game slate in the college football weekend, which we are going to recap. Not okay.
Go Navy beat Army. There you go.
Didn't cover. They didn't cover and they didn't hit the over.
Whatever.
Nonetheless, go Navy, I guess. Yeah. Also, W uniforms, dude. What are we talking about?
Always.
That's it. It's bowl season. Best time of the year. This is when we get busy. This is when we pretty much preview roughly like 5 to 7 games for the next 2-3 weeks, maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Correct.
And you also see us putting episodes aiming to be still twice a week and essentially just previewing all of the games that we can and then giving any pick that we have whatsoever. And if we don't have a pick, give one anyways, because we're only going to get to do this one more time. So
making me do this.
Strap in, dude. It's all right. End of the college football season's close, playoffs approaching, but we have none other than the Salute to Veterans Bowl. But before we get to the Salute to Veterans Bowl, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, reviewing, sharing with your friends, and yeah, join our Discord. Best community in the entire industry. Shout out to you guys for another full year of doing this. We're almost to our second year full-time doing this. It would be December 23rd is the 2-year anniversary of the official Hammer Time Discord.
We're recording on that day.
We are. I'm high. I'll have to wear like a kazoo and have some balloons in the back, and yeah, we'll have a little party. Just the 3 of us.
That's weird.
Or just me. All right.
Yeah, just you.
But yeah, share with your friends, like, subscribe, comment your favorite pick for the bowl season or something. Give us a crazy fun fact that you think that we might know, even though we probably do know it. It doesn't matter. I don't know. You might know more than us. You might be better than us. At this point, you probably are better than us, because at this rate, I've sucked for the last 2 months of this college football season, and I'm still not ready for it to be over. So, nonetheless, Salute to Veterans Bowl. What do we got?
Where is that? What?
That's
the
first
Veterans Bowl.
That's the first one.
Oh, is this in Montgomery? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can you say who the teams are for me, please?
Troy and Jacksonville State.
What day is this on?
This is on a Tuesday, December 16th.
That's tomorrow.
Literally tomorrow, which this pod
is.
will be released later Monday evening for you guys to lock that in. So,
did you know that this was a rivalry?
How long ago? I've never heard of that.
The old School Bell rivalry.
That name's kind of sick. I like that.
Interesting.
That's tough. School Bell.
Jacksonville.
Is it actually a School Bell?
Jacksonville State leads the rivalry 33-28-3. It began in 1924 and has continued as both teams have transferred through NAIA Division II, Division I, and FCS, and now the FBS. The last game was on November 17th, 2001. So this is the first meeting in 24 years. I did not know that.
That is pretty sick.
That is sick. Looks like it's going to be cold. 40 degrees in Montgomery, Alabama tomorrow. No rain, very little wind. Line opened at Troy -3, dropped to Troy -1.5. Over under is at 49.5. It opened at 51.5. I think this cap's pretty simple. I'll be honest, I don't lean very strongly either way. At a 3, I definitely would have taken Jack State. I definitely missed that number. Um, I guess actually before I looking at opt outs, transfers, things like that, Troy as a starting corner that's opting out.
Yeah,
Starting running backs in the portal. They're one of their defensive ends in the portal. Their left tackle's hurt, right tackle's hurt. Goose Crowder, their quarterback, left last game. It'll probably be Tucker Kilcrease. And then for Jacksonville State, their left tackle is in the portal. They have another line injury. They have a corner injury, and then they have a D tackle hurt. So from the looks of it looks like Jack State's a little more good to go. I think both these teams care a lot, which is nice. We get a bowl game where like both teams are going to try and win the actual
first
bowl
one.
game.
First one of
cool.
the year is always a nice one to have that.
Third bowl game of the year, actually.
Oh, sorry, that's so disrespectful.
The Celebration Bowl that went 4 overtimes on Saturday that you missed.
I did miss. You didn't watch either.
How do you know?
Because you would text me, F Kentucky, go Hoosiers.
That was at night. The Celebration Bowl was at noon.
That's also true. I was working.
Anyways, I think I can't. I'm gonna take Jack State in this game. I think the biggest reason being I don't trust Troy's defense at all. Really, they've let up 300 yards rushing to 3 or 4 different teams this year. Like on paper, their defense looks good. They're good EPA per rush. They are a really good points per quality drive defense, but against like teams that can actually run the ball, they've been really bad. I mean, James Madison just ran for like 330 on them last week. So Jacksonville State, all they want to do is run. That's pretty much all they do. Cam Cook is a monster. It looks like he's going to play, which is huge. So I think that's their running back, by the way, who's awesome. I think
one of the best in the country, dude. Yeah.
I'll probably lay the 1.5 and take Jack State. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it could be a little low scoring with these defenses, but I'm gonna lean Jack State and Cam Cook. Even though I said I wasn't gonna bet on Conference USA teams, I'm gonna bet on Conference USA teams.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm weighing the points with Jack State. Cap's pretty simple in my opinion. Unlike whatever. I mean, Cam Cook, Caden Creel, zone read, counter, done. Game over. Troy, very good in pass explosives. However, with Kilcrease now getting the nod, I don't see that to be kept up in a way. Troy they're pretty much gaining a full yard less per play on offense than it allows on defense, which is 4.7 to 5.7. And they've benefited from 2 overtime wins to pretty much give themselves a spot in that Sun Belt Championship where, like you said, 2.6 yards per play against JMU, which the score didn't necessarily say a whole lot, but box score numbers-wise, it wasn't necessarily as close as people think. 111th in success rate. And obviously now, like you mentioned, Tay Meadows is in the portal. Like the offense just has no life. I don't understand how they score points in this game, to be completely honest with you. And their defense can't even stop the run. 182.7 yards allowed per game. And obviously Caden Creel and Cam Cook, like those guys are grinning ear to ear looking at that. So heavy, or not even a lean. It's going to be a play. It wasn't before, but it is now. Jack State plus 1.5 with those points there. And then I'm also going to take the over 46.5, I think. Significant movement, dropped 5 points. I'm assuming that's probably due to the Goose Crowder and Taymeno announcements. I think I'm going to buy back here only, though, because it sounds nuts. From what I'm seeing, Goose Crowder is actually practicing. But the numbers are identical from what it looks like.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same.
So it's not necessarily that far off, I don't think. I just don't think a quarterback or a backup quarterback at Troy is going to be worth 5 points. So I think it's a short total for Jack State. I don't think their defense is all that phenomenal. And I know I'm contradicting myself because I just said I don't know how Troy scores points in this game, but nonetheless, I think that they can put together a couple of explosives to at least cash this total, but more so relying on Cam Cook and Caden Creel to just run all over this defense. I think both their lines are at 100 plus right now. I'm not even kidding. So
I believe it. Okay. There you go. There's Troy-Jxst State. Let's move on to the Cure Bowl, which is on Wednesday at 4 Central, 5 Eastern. It is Old Dominion against South Florida. This is in South Florida's backyard. But if you don't know, South Florida's coach is gone. Alex Golesh took the job at Auburn. So with that comes, the fact that the offensive coordinator is going to Auburn, the fact that Byron Brown has opted out and is going to be an assistant coach. Most of the offensive staff is gone. They don't even know who's going to call the defense, as well as Chaz Nimrod is not playing. Christian Neptune, their 2 top receivers, are not playing. Denard Flowers, their D-end, he missed the last game of the year, more than likely not playing, and a couple other defensive opt-outs or injuries. On Old Dominion's side, Colton Joseph, their really good quarterback, has opted out. He's going to hit the transfer portal and go play Power 4 football more than likely. So this line opened originally at 7.5. You grabbed 7. I grabbed 6.5. This line is now dropped. Or did you? Yeah, you grabbed 7, right?
I'm checking right now because I think I did get the 6.5. Let me see.
Did we both grab 6.5?
I have 6.5 on FanDuel for the -105. Yeah,
we both got 6.5. This line is now dropped to 3. There is a USF -2.5 juiced right now, and then with that, total hasn't dropped as much as I thought it would. It's still sitting in the low 50s. It opened at 55.5. Now it's at 53.5. I mean, for us, this cap is really simple with the bets that we got in. We heard rumblings that Byron Brown was going to opt out with the coaching news. We grabbed Old Dominion. It dropped 3 points. Now we're where you're at the line. I still would probably sit on Old Dominion and take them because I just don't think South Florida is going to care about this bowl game. I think Hartline wants the practices, I think, for his young guys because he can lead practice, but he can't coach in the game. So I think he's going to want to assess the roster. Gaston Moore is going to start for USF. He's a 6-year starter that started 1 game. He followed Heupel to Tennessee and then Golesh to USF. Quinn Heineckel is Old Dominion starting quarterback. He ran for over 200 yards in his start last year against Arkansas State, whose defense is bad, but still at least have some knowledge of what they're going to try and do, which is they're going to try and run the ball. They're not really going to try and throw it in this game. You kind of have to throw numbers out of the window here with, success rates, EPA, stuff like that. I think Old Dominion's going to want the game more, and you can't cap
motivation.
Motivation.
You
can't cap motivation. So I think your only play here is Old Dominion. I think you could maybe buy back on like a really cheap USF money line, but I would be playing Old Dominion because they're not going to start caring when the game starts. Like it's just going to be downhill. So I'd rather be on the side of the team that wants to win, regardless of their quarterback. I think everyone else on the roster wants to win there. So I will take Old Dominion. I would take them. I'd take them anywhere. Take money line if you want.
I agree. The hardest thing about these bowl games is what a lot of people don't realize is the motivation aspect. Usually within these games, you're able to tell pretty quick whether these teams are pretty much in or out of the game. Nonetheless, if you're a live bettor, tread very lightly because a lot of the times it's not necessarily the easiest to live bet. It's necessarily just easier to just wait at least like a quarter and then look at the numbers side by side, and you can pretty much clearly see, because the yards per play advantages, the explosive advantages, like they're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Like Byron Brown is still out, of course, but a lot of people are overlooking that USF also has 3 other running backs that are at least 60 plus rushing attempts and incredible numbers after contact. And Old Dominion's defense this year wasn't necessarily the greatest against the run in general. So it's one of those things where it's hard to cap it at a 3.5, but it's a lot easier to cap it at the number that we got it at. But now that that number is pretty much just long gone, it's kind of just like you missed out and whatever. That's kind of my take on it. I would be careful taking them now, but then again, I'll just root for the bet to win either way. I mean, play it at 3 if you want. I still make it like right above 4, so it's pushing it, but yeah.
Yeah. The cap's hard when you can't cap motivation, like we said. It's just not possible.
It's the hardest thing in these bowl seasons, but it's so fun.
Yes. Bowl season is fun. It's hard, but it's fun. All right, we'll move on to the second game on Wednesday, which is at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN, the 68 Ventures Bowl, which is being played in... Where's this being played at? This is in Mobile, Alabama. This is between Delaware and ULL, the Ragin' Cajuns. Delaware gets into a bowl game, even though they technically were not allowed to be in one, with this being their transition from FBS. But enough teams said no, Delaware gets in. So that's where we are now. They take on ULL, who won their last 4 games or something like that to get to 6-6, very impressively. Couple of things for Louisiana. Their free safety Tyree Skipper is back. He got reinstated after being suspended for I can't remember what he did, but he was suspended in early November. He's back now, gets to play. He's actually a pretty good free safety. He could play in the NFL. So he's good. Their quarterback, Lunch Winfield, left the last game but came back at the end. So I think he's going to play. And then on Delaware's side of the ball, no opt-outs, no transfers, really just injuries that they've been playing without for the past couple of weeks. So nothing there. For this game specifically, I have a play on the under, which I've got the worst number. I took 58.5. It's jumped up to 61.5. I think both of these, or I shouldn't say both of these. I think at first when I looked at the game, I thought that my first initial thought is Delaware is really gassed. They've been gassed for a while. First FBS season, they've really sputtered down the stretch. Both these teams really care about a bowl game. Once again, nice. It's nice. The early games are going to be teams caring for the most part. So I think my hope was that the Delaware offense is going to look kind of weird because they may try and slow it down to, make it where they can finish a game through 4 quarters, which would then help out the defense, because that's really where the defense has been really bad, is because they've been on the field so much because the offense goes really fast. I personally would not play it if you were listening to this. I think it's actually a really bad idea. I hate that I'm playing it, and I'm probably going to try and buy out of it in some way. I think if I was looking at a spread or a money line or anything, I think I would play ULL. I think they're going to care slightly more. I think both these teams care, but ULL, their head coach has gone to 6 straight bowl games or something like that, and they just got to a 7th one. I think they're really going to want to win this game, and I also really, truly think that Delaware is out of gas. I know they got 2 weeks off, but I still don't know if that helps you when the pace that you play at offensively just kills your defense. I'm not sure that the defense just gets gas back in them after 2 weeks with that. I think you may see a competitive first half, but I mean, you have this Delaware team had some really sketchy wins over the year that got them here, and I just think that they kind of got lucky in a way. So I'm going to take ULL to win and cover the 3. I think that's my play.
Oof.
I mean, they beat MTSU by 3, got destroyed by Liberty, beat Louisiana Tech by 1, lost to Sam Houston, got destroyed by Wake, and then beat the crap out of UTEP. Like the stretch that they've been on has been bad.
I'm gonna disagree. Not an official play, but I'll just disagree. I'm gonna take Delaware. I think that they do have a little bit more of a reliable passing efficiency, and Louisiana's tendency to allow other teams to stay on schedule through the air is definitely a problem for them. I'm going to think that it should allow them to make enough plays to come up with a win in this case. But from a bowl game perspective, I think it's one of the easier games to kind of look at and handicap in a way. There's not a good amount of opt-outs really in this case. I think it's the least of any bowl game this year, if I'm not mistaken. I just think I'll disagree on this part as well, though. I think UD does care more, only because they're going from not playing a bowl game, like being ineligible, like just not allowed whatsoever, to all of a sudden just getting the green light to be in here. And ultimately, it's their first one. So I think that's going to light a fire a little bit. It'll be one of the more fun games, I think, most definitely. And I think both teams are going to be scoring points. I mean, both defenses are pretty leaky, in my opinion. I know ULL's ranking looks like 119th nationally, and defensive success rate in 99th, and pass success rate well. Minicucci should have a day. I think he should be able to throw the ball wherever he wants to, but I think we're going to take the quarterback in the passing game that can stay on schedule more and just find a rhythm quickly and often. So, yeah, I'll take UD with the points just because of what it's at now.
Nah. I don't think they care more.
Really?
I mean, ULL won 4 games in a row to get here.
That's fair. I mean,
beat two bowl eligible teams. Like, I think Louisiana won. I definitely think that they want to win and be there. I just think I think ULL's proved it more. I mean, they lost to James Madison by 10.
Yeah.
I think ULL is. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I agree with you. I think both defenses are leaky. And if you're looking at it from a straight numbers perspective, yeah, Delaware should have a clear advantage in that, but like their offensive line is trash.
They are not very good.
If Minicucci can't get time to throw the ball, it's not going to matter. Now, right. Troy's defensive line doesn't get a ton of pressure, so we're going to find out what matters there or what happens there. But yeah, I think it's a true coin flip kind of game. So I think taking the 3 is smart. On your side, I think
short money line, if anything, personally. If you're going to play ULL, I think the money line's your best option. I wouldn't lay the points, though.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to this is Thursday, I think. Yes, this is Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, Thursday. Only game on Thursday, I believe.
On Thursday.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Missouri State, Arkansas State in the Xbox Bowl. This is a new bowl, by the way.
Heck yeah, dude.
New bowl. This is in. I don't even know. Where is this bowl game? It doesn't say.
Frisco.
It's in Frisco. Okay, Frisco, yeah. Texas. Nice.
Ford Center. I haven't heard of the Ford Center. I just saw Frisco and I just went with it. Ford Center is referred to as the Star. Dallas Cowboys practice facility. Are you kidding me?
Dub.
Wait, their practice, dude. That's a practice facility. Good God, Jerry. Dude, when you guys get a chance, look this up. This is just like the Kibby Dome on steroids.
Shout out Jerry after last night.
Oh my God. Yeah, dub, dude. Vikings +6. How about it?
Yeah. We were both on it. Yeah. Ford Center at the start. Dallas Cowboys practice facility.
That is crazy.
It hosts high school football, 2 bowl games, and the Conference USA basketball tournament. Didn't know that. That's cool. Anyways, back to the actual football game that's going to be played here. Line is currently at -1.5. It opened -2.5. Arkansas State is favored -2.5. They were favored 2.5. Now they're 1.5. Total sitting at 54.5. This is taking a lot of money to the under. I agree with that money. I think that your best play is the under if you're going to play something in this game. Missouri State's starting centers in the transfer portal. No idea if he's playing. They have 2 defensive line injuries. Don't know if they're playing. Arkansas State's best offensive lineman is out. He's been out since week 10, so all pretty normal here. So this line's interesting because normally we would never ever tell you to take 1.5 because there's no point normally. Because if you have a 1.5, why not just take the money line? Do not do that in bowl games. Don't. Do not take the money line in bowl games.
I thought you were going to say but. I was going to say no.
If you're betting the dog, take the 1.5. If you're betting the favorite, take the money line.
Please.
Another reason why you should do that. Arkansas State has played in the most 1-point games in FBS in the past 2 years. Like, it is literally insane how many games they've played that have ended in 1 point. I don't know what
I have
Butch
them all
Jones
pulled up. This is weird, dude.
I don't know what magic he pulls out of his hat, but that dude only plays in 1-point games or 1-score games. For this matchup specifically, you're going to sense a trend here for me, which is I think Conference USA numbers are inflated. And my numbers are going to tell me to take Missouri State, and I'm going to go against them until a Conference USA team tells me that they're not inflated, because I think the conference sucks, and it's been
as
terrible.
He bets Jack State.
Okay, that's the one, and that's only because I love Jack State, and I love Cam Cook. The rest of them I don't like. I do think the quarterback for Missouri State's really good, and he should be able to take control of the game in parts of this, but I'm a big fan of Arkansas State's offense. I know it's not very good, but like Jalen Raynor's so fun to watch. I've watched a stupid amount of Arkansas State games this year because for some reason I ended up betting them all the time.
I was going to say why.
Yeah, that's why, because I bet on them a ton. So I'm going to take Arkansas State to somehow pull this out and win, and probably play in a 1-point game because I think it'd be hilarious. The numbers tell you to take Missouri State. I'm going on a gut feeling here that Arkansas State just pulls out another one. And yeah, I don't really have a ton of reasoning to back it up other than I like that team.
I'm going to disagree strongly and really play Missouri State here.
You keep betting your Conference USA teams.
Yeah, I will.
But I'm going to watch the world burn.
I will read these off while I have it pulled up in front of me just because of how insane that it is. In 2024 alone, Butch Jones played in 6. He played, actually. He didn't even coach. He was actually in the game. Did you know that?
I didn't, because I knew he was on the sideline for Tennessee, so I'm confused to why he gets to play now.
He coached in 6 one-possession games. They went 4-2. This year they went 2-1. So they are 6-3 across the last 2 years. And I mean, like, dude, these are just nuts. Like 3 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3, 7, 7, 7,
so they went 2-1 this year?
1. Yeah.
They did worse than that. They went 0-1, 0-2. Are you saying 1-score games, right?
Yes, one possession. We're just one possession.
0-1, 0-2, 1-2.
That's all I'm seeing. Did I miss one?
2-3. They're 3-3. Iowa State lost by 8. Kennesaw State lost by 7. Beat Texas State by 1. Beat South Bama by 1. Lost to Southern Miss by 6. Lost to UL by 4, and then beat App State. So 3-4 in 1-score games this year. So regression to the mean.
Sure, we'll take it. Nonetheless, yeah, I'm fading it. I'm taking Missouri State on the money line. There's only one problem. Missouri State, your offensive line is borderline worse than tissue paper. It's pretty bad. However, FCS school to FBS, you're getting there, you know what I mean? We're going. And like the offensive front is obviously the hardest thing to accomplish at this level. Nonetheless, yeah, like you said, Jacob Clark, quarterback from Missouri State, is an absolute stud. This dude's going to sling it. And
Very good.
I think when he gets any time whatsoever, he's able to do what he wants to do. On the other side of that, Arkansas State is obviously going to throw a ton, but that's why there's a lot of these like dinking and dunking going on with that kind of thing, because Missouri State had these problems when teams were hitting these big explosive passes, but not these short 10 to 15 ones. So Missouri State is 7-0 when teams completed fewer than 6.7 yards per attempt, and 0-5 when they hit that many or more. It's kind of what? That's weird. That's a very weird stat. Arkansas State is averaging 6.5 yards per attempt and only went 6.7 yards 4 times. But Arkansas State won those 4 games when it was able to turn some of those short throws into bigger plays with some yak. So they gave up a ton of yards. I think there's a lot of bending without breaking, though, and this is that game specifically. Despite that USC game at the very early year when they put up 73, whatever that was, I just think it's a little bit more inflated than what it is. I'm going to take Missouri State on the money line here. I just think that care factor is a little bit more similar to the Delaware cap. First year in the FBS, they weren't eligible by any means for the first part, and you get the invite, and now you're in here, and now they just want to make some noise. So, yeah, I want to take the Bears. Duh, Bears.
No, I mean, they're going to have success offensively throwing the ball. I do agree with that. Arkansas State has voodoo, dude. I don't want anything to do with that voodoo.
I don't blame you.
All right, guess what? We have another Conference USA team. I really hope you're doing this again because this would be hilarious. This is Friday, 10 a.m. This is early on Friday. 10 a.m., December 19th in Conway, South Carolina. What bowl is this? This is the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Myrtle Beach.
This is played on Coastal's Field, yes. Correct? I believe so. I'm pretty sure it's played.
Myrtle? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it's
played
it is.
on the teal turf. Looks like very nice weather in Conway, South Carolina this time of year. 64 degrees, some 13-mile-per-hour winds, a little windy, but it's nice. Western Michigan is currently minus 3.5. Over-under sitting at 47.5 right now, it looks like. Is that right? No, sorry, 49.5.
40, yeah.
Opt-outs and portal, Kennesaw State looks like they're all pretty healthy. Looks like not much injuries on either side here. It looks both these teams have been extremely healthy all year. The only one thing I'd question is Western Michigan's defensive end that could go like in the top 3 rounds. Nadami Tucker, that dude is a monster. I don't know if he'll play, but he's the only one I'd be worried about if you're looking at Western Michigan. Yeah, once again, here's my cap for this. I think the Conference USA sucks. I don't think these teams are as good as the power ratings say they are because they played each other all year. So when you beat up on each other, obviously you look good. Yes, Kennesaw State won Conference USA. Does that mean they're good? I don't think so. They're now playing the MAC champion, Western Michigan, which, interesting enough, two champions are playing each other in a bowl game, which is cool. I do think both teams care. I think Western Michigan's defense just has a significant advantage against Kennesaw's offense, even with how good Kennesaw's offense has been this year. Western Michigan's defense is elite. They literally shut down everybody all year. They probably will struggle a little bit to move the ball. I think a good play is the under as well. But yeah, I'm going to take Western Michigan. There's a flat 3. It's juiced on Bali. I would take that. Take Western Michigan there. I think anything over 3.5, hate playing Kennesaw with the hook, but I think Western Michigan wins and covers 3. Please.
Give me the Broncos.
Okay, there you go.
They know how to control these games, though. Kennesaw State likes to move quickly. Doesn't always work out for them, and then they get crushed in the time possession battle. Now, for Western Michigan's case, they absolutely thrive. The thing is with this team, their special teams, elite, defense, elite. They can slow things down to a halt and making you play their way in a single drive. That's all it takes, literally. The combination, when you look at the offenses of terms, Jalen Buckley, Brock Lowry, very ground control like kind of players. And then the rest of the defense, like I said, is very good at getting off the field fast. So I don't really like. They played in the MAC. I'm not going to give them like star power and whatnot, but they didn't mess up like all year. Like literally, they looked good in every single conference game that they played. I think the turnovers kind of declined a little bit the second half, and all the penalties that kind of came in, especially in the conference game, because that was kind of nuts. If you guys watched that, Kennesaw State's been pretty good at keeping turnovers to a minimum, but I'm just going to trust the better coach, in my opinion. I think Kennesaw State wants to press and get this game into an offensive fight, and Western Michigan isn't just going to allow that to happen. I mean, they're 9-0 when they're allowing 23 points, and Kennesaw State has only been held under 24 3 times. Once was in that championship conference title. So I think their ability to control the tempo is going to be enough to win this game. I'm going to say 27-23. Western Michigan wins and covers, depending on what line you have. So that'll be that.
Yeah, I hope you don't have 4. So agree there. Gasparilla Bowl. This is also on Friday. This is at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central.
Great game if we get
This is in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Going to be even nicer, 76 degrees. For 2 very high-powered offenses. However, both these offenses may have some problems. The game is Memphis versus NC State. The line currently at 6. Over-under is 57.5, 58.5. We do not know. Well, obviously we know Ryan Silverfield left. Memphis head coach. He is now the head coach at Arkansas. They hired Charles Huff. He's not going to coach in the bowl game. It looks like their DB coach is going to be the head coach or the interim head coach, which doesn't bode well for the offense. Brennan Lewis, is he healthy? Is he playing? Can't answer that. Is Sutton going to play? I think so, but can't answer that just yet. For NC State, you have 3 of your best players that could potentially opt out. Hollywood Smothers, the running back, could enter the transfer portal. Justin Jolly could either enter the transfer portal or opt for the NFL draft and not play. He's a tight end. And then obviously you have CJ Bailey, the quarterback, who could opt out and hit the transfer portal. So this is a hard game to cap because of the potential opt-outs, the potential, like, what does Memphis look like without Ryan Silverfield? How much of Ryan Silverfield was that? How much was the offensive system, the guys under him? He's obviously going to take staff members with him. Who's calling offense? We don't know. Things like that. It makes it really hard to take a dog in that situation. But then on the other side of NC State, like, we don't know if their best players are going to play. We don't know if they're going to hit the transfer portal. We have no idea how that's going to go. I assume Brendan Lewis plays and is healthy. I'm assuming Sutton's going to play. I think most of NC State will play, if I had to guess. I'm personally going to take the dog here. I'm going to take Memphis. I think Memphis has played way above expectation when Brendan Lewis is healthy. And with 2 weeks off and how they lost the last 3 games, I think there's kind of a revenge. They want to end the season on a good note kind of thing. Your coach leaves you and you're not going to follow him kind of thing. I think that kind of gets an energy back in the building for Memphis. And I think they should be super excited for the head coach that they just brought in because, I mean, dude's killed it wherever he's gone the past 2 years in Charles Huff. So I think Memphis will have, and I think they're going to have advantages offensively if it's the same type of system. It's not going to be the same, but and for NC State offensively, like, you need those guys to play. They're huge on explosives. Other than that, not a ton NC State does well. Memphis' defense isn't that good, but I want a high-scoring, middle-of-the-afternoon game. So that's what I'm going to root for, and I'm going to hope the dog wins by or loses by less than 6.
I'm going to pass on everything in this game and not have a play, but for the sake of the relax. For the sake of the pod, I will root for points and probably just play the over if I had to. I'm going to say, like...
You do have to.
I don't know. That line's really high right now. I kind of get it. But at the same time, I don't. The line's also been pretty ping-pongy-ish with the 58, 57s.
Yeah.
That sucks because I make it 55. But I feel like one of these teams hits 30 at least. Like, that's what I would be banking on.
I make it 55.
Dang. Gun to my head with how big this number is, I mean, yeah, I'd probably have to take Memphis. Yeah. Let's just do that. I'll agree with you and take Memphis there.
Woo. I think if everyone plays,
yeah,
Memphis is going to be okay. I don't know how much Ryan Silverfield was loved in that building from everything I've heard. So
that too. That's kind of weird.
You haven't seen a bunch of opt-outs and stuff, like...
Kind of got to take a hint and kind of, yeah.
Yeah, don't know how loved he was. Okay, we will do the last bowl game we're going to talk about today, which is the Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise on the blue field, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, it's on the blue field.
Correct.
Washington State is taking on Utah State. This is Monday, December 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. Washington State, corner and a linebacker in the portal. Their center missed the last game of the season. They have a wide receiver. I'm sorry, that's you. Yeah, that's Washington State, sorry. And then obviously their head coach is gone. He left. He gone. He went to Iowa State, which is crazy. Didn't see that coming. But yeah, he's gone. Not coaching the ball game. Could see a lot more opt-outs. Their defensive coordinator, Jesse Bobbitt, is going to be the interim head coach. For Utah State, nothing. There's one wide receiver in the portal, and their tight end missed the last game of the year. So this line is currently Washington State +3, and total is at 52.5. Hasn't moved really at all. This one, really hard to get a read on. Really tough. Like, from a numbers perspective, I show value in Washington State, but I don't know who's playing. Like, I played as Washington State on NCAA 26, and dude, let me tell you, they were electric.
Eckhouse is a weapon.
Yes, he was. I don't remember his name, but he was the quarterback weapon.
Yes.
Dude was a
Eckhouse,
beast. Yeah, Eckhouse. Yeah, that's right. Like they've actually been like middle of the pack all year this year and playing a very interesting schedule. Like their defense was actually really good, and the defensive coordinator staying and being the interim. Uh, Utah State's defense is really good, except against the rush, which Washington State middle of the pack. Um, I think for right now, I'm gonna have to wait and see. I need to see if anyone else opts out. I think at the number right now, I would play Washington State, but I'm curious to see if other people opt out leading up to that game. So we may have to touch back on this next pod and see if there's any updated stuff. But yeah, I think this line might be a little too high. So I would take Wazoo here. I think the defense will at least will show up. I don't know about the offense, but
Is that it?
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough.
It's fair. I took Utah State on the money line.
I think that's fair.
I this is really funny. Washington State's obviously. I didn't really put 2 and 2 together with that, but they're going to be without their head coach for the second consecutive bowl game that they've played in. So even before bowl season's hit, they've both just dipped, which is kind of funny. It's different. Washington State, I mean, I think they've been all over the place this year. They're very hit or miss. Looked great against a very good Mountain West San Diego State team, and obviously gave Virginia, they gave Ole Miss, and they gave James Madison a decent competitive game. They lost by combined of 9 points is what I'm looking at here. But when they're off and when they're down, like they're very, very, very off. With all the personnel losses and whatnot, I mean, Utah State has to do everything that they can with Bryson Barnes just to come out firing on all cylinders here. In that case, I think they should. There's not necessarily a big time turnover problem, I think, that should give Washington State room for error, I guess you could say. They do take chances, though. They're very explosive. They're 4-0 and they're connecting on more than 9 yards per pass and throwing for more than 275. So, looking on here, I'm trying to see. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it'll be. That's why I'm taking the money line mainly. I'm just not really a fan of the way that Washington State plays, and I'm just not really liking riding. I don't want to call it the hot hand because they haven't really been hot, but they have a way of playing like up or down to their competition. But I just don't think they have enough offense to keep up with this Utah State offense. I think they're just going to be a little more efficient on the Aggie side personally. So I'm going to say, give me 28-23 Utah State. I'm just going to take on the money line though.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to wait for more news, but I think I'll lean Washington State there.
The line might go up, honestly. So I mean, if you're playing Wazoo, best case scenario is to wait. But if you're playing Utah State, you better get on now.
Yes, would agree with that. I think what's money line right now? Money line
140s ish. I think I got it around 130s, high 120, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check really fast. 125.
Yeah, you're up to 148, 145 on 148 on DK. 150.
That was a week ago, by the way. So yeah, that's obviously long gone. But Utah State on the money line for minus 125 on MGM was, yeah.
With the real life numbers we have now, I'm playing Washington. I'll probably play Washington State, depending on.
I'd still take 20 cents of juice and play the minus 140. Honestly, I'd probably play it to like 160, depending on your unit sizing, of course. But I digress.
Yeah, well, I want to beat you, so.
All right, dude.
Since I had such a bad head-to-head this year, I gotta try and catch back up. That is, I think that's all the bowl games we're going to cover today. I believe. I think that's it. We are going to do college football playoff games later this week, as well as bowl games.
Should be. Is it when? Is it going to be Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be Wednesday. And then it'll be college football first round games. And then we will also cover Louisville, Toledo, UNLV, Ohio, Western Kentucky, Southern Miss, Cal, Hawaii, Central Michigan, Northwestern, New Mexico, Minnesota, and FIU, UTSA. So we will go over 11 games next pod, including 4 first-round games.
Electric.
Yep.
And then obviously you have that massive slate of the 27th, which should be another later in the week one. I would assume so. That'll be the part 2, I guess.
Yeah. We'll get through everything. Oh, yeah, next week's Christmas. So, yeah, we'll have it'll probably be a long pod. Long one pod for a lot of games for that week.
If I was tech savvy enough, I would put timestamps on the games that you guys want to hear. Just make it easier for you if you wanted to. But
should do that for Spotify.
I think it does automatically. Is it AI or something like that does it?
Yeah, AI Spotify does it for you. If you listen anywhere else,
I use Apple, so I couldn't tell you what they don't. I know Apple doesn't do that. I don't think.
Yeah,
at least I haven't seen it unless I'm just
Spotify does.
Makes it easy. But yeah, that'll pretty much be that. So we'll get it to you guys, obviously, and then whatever, if you're in the Discord, just ask. It's not like I'm not gonna say no. So, but yeah, be sure to join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter, which are all of our socials are in the link in the description below wherever you're listening, whether that's YouTube, Spotify, Apple, as well as our Hammer Time podcast page itself. Be sure to follow us there. And we will see you guys later on this week, whether Wednesday or Thursday. And then, this episode should be released tonight. And then in time, of course, for tomorrow night's Tuesday game, which I already forget what it is. But
how dare you forget the Jacksonville State plays tomorrow.
Yeah. That's it. I don't know. That's a lot of games, dude, right?
It is a lot
Nonetheless,
of games.
You guys have a fantastic week. Good luck on your bets in the bowl season. Please bet responsibly with it because it can get out of hand really quick.
Don't chase.
Do not chase in bowl season. If you're losing, just hold it. Just wear it. It doesn't matter. Nonetheless, I just can't wait. So we've made it. One of the best times of the year and ready to sweat these last couple weeks out with you guys. So be sure you're tuning in, and we will see you guys whenever we see you guys next. Have a good week, and we will see you later on this week. Peace.